first, let me just say that I'm so excited that you guys love when my boyfriend is in videos. A lot of you say that you want more reviews with him, so I'm gonna try and make that happen. And I'm sorry I've been gone for like a month. Well, not anymore because I just posted a video, but now I can explain. You guys hate when I explain, so maybe I shouldn't. But I am kind of contemplating whether or not we should do a new segment, because if we do a new segment like Freddy Friday, Wrong Turn Wednesday, whatever we pick, that'll be the only reviews I can manage, because with my schedule how it is now, I just got a new job and it's very part-time, but I also have full-time school and I'm at school 4 times a week and then maintaining my other channel. It's just, it would be really hectic for me to do a series and normal reviews. So let me know what you want. I mean, I can still manage to do like Green Inferno. I'm seeing that this weekend. Obviously, I'm going to review it first and foremost. And that's exactly what I did with Sinister 2. But I guess I deleted the footage like an idiot. So I'm refilming my review for Sinister 2, and it's not going to be as good as my first one because I saw it, I don't even know how long ago it came out in theaters. It is no longer in theaters. So I do remember basically my kind of feelings about this movie after I saw it, and I do remember what I liked and disliked pretty much about it. So that's primarily what this review is going to consist of, not really a whole plot synopsis thing, but we do have a character that is maintained through the first one. I loved the first one. I put it in my top 10, I believe, the first time around, like 2 years ago or something like that. So this one is a little bit different. It follows the deputy from the first one, which was interesting because he was not a very big character at all in the first one. So I kind of liked that he was, you know, kept in the second one. I didn't mind his character at all. He's basically tracking down Bagul, trying to save this family of this mother and her twin boys, and they were physically abused by her husband, so they moved out and they're trying to like kind of start a new life and change their identities kind of thing. And then the deputy shows up and says you need to stay here, like don't leave the house, things like that. Because as soon as you move from a house that's marked with death, then Bagul finds you at the new house, okay? So one thing I didn't like about this film is that it kind of felt like a romance film all of a sudden with the deputy and Courtney, who's the mom. It just kind of felt like a little romantic, and I don't mind romance or anything like that, but it just felt so out of place in a Sinister film. Like, sorry, my lisp is really bad, my Invisalign, you know how it goes. It felt so off from the first one. I'm not sure if they even have the same directors or writers or if they're different. I didn't really research that, but it just felt like they were 2 separate entities and this wasn't really a sequel, because the vibes of everything was just so different, including the fact that we find out that Bagul actually travels through art, not just Super 8 films, which is what was in the first one. So I wasn't really a fan of that. It's like, well, that has nothing to do with the first one then. If it's not all Super 8 films, then, you know, it's like through a radio and just things like that. I don't know. And another thing I hated about this film, hate's a strong word, I'm gonna say disliked. I did not like the fact that the ghost children had more of a part than like one of the twins. I felt that was so strange, because in the first one they were just creepy, like sitting in a little circle looking at the person. It was just creepy, but this one they were actual like characters of the film. Like you got to know them a little bit. You know, they would go up to the one twin and be like, here's mine, and then show him, which was my favorite thing about this movie. Oh my gosh. That's one of my favorite things about the first one, are the films, the little short films where you see the children killing their family members. That's why I love Sinister, is because of that. I think it's so creepy and like disturbing and sad ending, and it's not something that you normally see. I don't know. I just really liked it. And so this one, I feel like the films in the movie were either better or just as good as the ones from the first one. I think my favorite one, the one that got to me the most, was the electrocution one when they're in the kitchen, which was in the trailer, and then they took out part of it out of the trailer, which was interesting. I don't know if they had like an edited version of the trailer and then like a more R-rated version of the trailer, but you actually see it happen in the trailer and then they took it out, so I don't know. I loved that one. It really like bothered me for some reason. Well, not for some reason, I know why it bothered me. I am human, I have a heart, even though I like horror. And then the church one. The church one was getting on the cusp of being too complicated, you know, with the rats and everything, with the heat and then the bowls. I thought it was gonna be a little complicated because I didn't understand what was going on until like the bowls happened, and I was like, oh, I get it. I've heard of that before. So that I really enjoyed. They really did bother me. They were very disturbing. That's one thing I loved about this one. It was more gory than the first one. With the first one, you don't really see a lot of the gore or like a lot of things happen in the tapes. You just kind of know what's going on. And this one, you actually get to see the people die and see gore, and I love that. Sinister 2 is definitely not as strong as Sinister 1. I love Sinister, the first one, a lot. This one was kind of like a little disappointing because I was so excited for this. Videotape, like the tapes that you see in the film, were not disappointing at all. I loved those. However, everything else, the storyline, the romance, the ending, even the acting sometimes, it was just off. It didn't feel, it wasn't good to me. I don't like the ending. I'm gonna go into it a little bit and talk about it a little bit more, so it is a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but we're gonna be talking about that, so turn this off if you don't want to know the ending. So throughout the film, you're following the one twin who's like selected by Bagul, and he's the one communicating with the ghost children and things like that, and then finally the other twin comes in. It's like, what about me? Why am I not chosen? Why don't you guys talk to me? And so the good twin is like, I'm out. I'm done with this. I'm not killing my family. Thanks though for sharing your stories. And he, you know, pieces out. The other twin's like, I'll do it. And so the kids are like, all right. So then the other twin takes over the job basically and, you know, straps the family to the things like sticks. I don't know. How do you get that up, get him up there? The kids help him? I don't know. So my biggest critique about the ending when the dad dies, you know how the abusive husband, he's the first one and only one to die at the end. And I was like, what? No. Sinister has sad endings. They always do sad endings, which there is kind of a sad ending at this one. But anyway, we're focusing on the family. So what I didn't like is every other like film that you see in this movie, the family's killed all at once, basically. You have like them all hanging over a gator tank, or them all in the kitchen getting electrocuted at the same time kind of thing. Whereas this one, it's like he lights them on fire one by one, and oh, I ran out of time. Someone's here to save the rest of my family. I don't have time to burn them alive, darn it. He only has time to burn the dad, which we don't even like the dad because he beat the child, so it's like we don't care about him. It should have been a line of gasoline to every single person, and then he lights the one line of gasoline and it goes and burns all of them at once. That is how normally the little tapes inside the movie are. So they changed it so they could have a happy ending, and I didn't like that. The first one had a horrible ending, like it was so sad and like a negative ending, and I loved that. I wish they maintained that in this one and had the whole family die or something. I mean, I guess the deputy's killed, so not everybody survives, and not everybody has a happy ending, so I guess that's okay, but I just kind of wanted the family to die. And I'm one of those weird people that like sad endings, like unhappy endings, negative endings, Stephen King endings as I call them. Those are all my thoughts about Sinister 2. I'm glad a lot of it came back to me about my feelings and stuff. If you want a synopsis or anything, you can look that up. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I would definitely watch the trailer, but yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about it. I know a lot of you hated it, so I know I'm gonna get a lot of that in the comments, which I'm okay with because just solidifies my opinion. And also leave some feedback what you want me to review next, and if you want a series like desperately, I will do one. Just know that's probably gonna be the only videos you get out of me through the length of that series. So except for movies that are in theaters, I will always review those. So that is all I have to talk about. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Would you mind getting inside the oven to clean it?
Stop! Now! Stop!